Good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful 78 degrees here in the morning here in Las Vegas, and it is just too nice out and too pretty not to take advantage of it. So while I am out here taking advantage of this beautiful weather, I want to tell you about a new tobacco that most of us picked up at Hookah Expo Worldwide 2018 here in Las Vegas, which was absolutely awesome and fun, by the way. If you missed it, shame on you. This brand is a new one. It's called Baja tobacco for hookah. It's a dark leaf, and the flavor is dos apples. And yes, you can already figure it out. It's a double apple flavor. And if they've been out before, I haven't noticed, but I'm glad I have, because this one, it's actually a pretty good flavor. I've been smoking on this for about maybe 10 minutes now. So the clouds are going, the flavor's going. It actually got a very nice fragrance to it that, of course, is typical of the double apple flavors. You got the spices of anise and maybe a little bit of nutmeg and some clove. You know, it's the typical smells and tastes of the double apple flavors. And this one is a dark leaf cut, so it's very finely chopped. And this comes in a 200 gram pouch. I think that's the biggest they have so far, and actually the smallest too. And like I said to you, it is a very, very fine cut. So if you can see it right there, and you can see it on my fingertips too. Damn bug, get the hell out of here. And, oh, shame on me, I dropped some. And it is wet. It's not terribly juicy, but it is very, very moist. It's along the feeling that you get from black lava. It has that moistness, the moisture and juiciness to it, but it's not the kind that you see in a lot of other dark leaves, where it's like a little bit more mucilaginous and thick. And so it's a very, it's just moist. It's not like swimming in its own juices or anything else. Get that off my hands there. But that syrupy, that's the word I was looking for, was syrupy. And that's all good with me, because it actually doesn't leave much in the bowl to clean off once you're done with your session and want to wash your bowls and all that. It doesn't have that super sticky stuff on it, so I like that about it. Before I get into the techniques of the flavor and the clouds and everything else, my setup is the Carbon One AOT hose, the KM 1001 Nights Ice stem with a Hookah 80-foot 80 bowl. This, I still have it. I got it from the first Hookah Expo Worldwide that I went to. It's got a couple of chips in it now, but still running like a champ. Water in the base, and 2 of the Superior Cocoa Cubes on it. Usually I don't go for a whole lot of dual apple flavors or double apple flavors, because it's just not my thing. When I started out with Alfactor and a few others, you know, I figured it would have an apple flavor. And I tried the Headquarters Hookah dual apple flavor, and that's the one I mentioned to you, that actually the first one I had somewhat of a Granny Smith apple flavor, a proper apple flavor. This one too actually does have a slight fresh apple flavor, also a Granny Smith kind of flavor to me. It has that sourness to it, but the sweetness of it, along with the spices, it's like smokable apple pie. And let's see if I can get out of the sun here. There we go. So let's go ahead and get into the flavor aspects of it. So let's see what we got here. As I said, it kind of has a slightly sour Granny Smith apple flavor, which is really good. It tastes fresh, like you bit into it, so I love the taste of that. And you can also kind of smell it on the exhale. You can smell a fresh apple, juicy kind of flavor. The spices are not overpowering at all. They just add their flavors to it really well. There's not too much of this or not enough of that. I can taste a little bit of cinnamon almost in it. Definitely can taste some clove flavor. And if there isn't any nutmeg in it, I almost get a hint of nutmeg in the smell of it. I can't really get it in the taste. because I taste more apple than I do the spices, but the spices come out more in the exhale and in the smoke, so you can smell it like that. It's actually very good. And thank you, Richard Hill, for these alfactor tongs. They've been absolutely wonderful. Let me ash those real quick. Also, I apologize for the dog barking in the background. He does that all the time and it gets on my freaking nerves. There we go. Yeah, the spices come more in the smell and in the smoke on the exhale, so I like it that way more than I do in the upfront taste, although having it in the taste also does help. And also, it's not cloyingly sweet, even though it has a nice level of sweetness to it. It's not sugary or anything like that, but it just has it. The sweetness is right to me. It's just right. It does have a little bit of a buzz, which I am starting to feel, but like I said, I've been smoking it for a little while, so most of it is already passed. So it does have a good buzz to it, but it won't punch you in the head or in the face or anything else, so it's easily dismissible. Very good on its flavor and spices. So yeah, as soon as I'm able to, I'm actually going to get the other flavors like the chai flavors, the ginger, and I'm actually especially looking forward to that London Fog flavored. From what I've heard, that one's actually a pretty good one. Now, you've already been seeing clouds, so let's see what we can do about that. Good cloud. A little bit of a show off there. Clouds are really good, and there's no wind right now, so they're hanging around. You still might be able to see a little haze of it. No, there's a little bit more buzz. Overall, a good flavor, right sweetness and spice levels, and I can actually taste apples in this. So if there isn't any apple flavoring in this, my mind is playing tricks on my tongue and making me taste it. But it's very, very well balanced in my opinion. There's not too much of this or not enough of that, so it's very good. On my 1 to 10 scale, usually, thanks to Adrian Hunter over at Pipe Dream Hookah for that. He does the 1 to 10 scale last I heard, so I would give the buzz about a 1.5. It's not overly strong and it's easily passable. The flavor is, like I said, typical of most double apple flavors, and so I'm going to give that an 8 because it's not overly strong. It's just right. It's not a punch you in the tongue or in the face kind of thing. And the clouds, probably could use a little bit more heat to make the clouds a bit thicker, but I'm going to give them the same as the flavor, so I'm going to give them an 8. So it's very satisfying overall. And I actually tried this out on my Furat hookah, and I couldn't take as long of a draw to make as big of a cloud. So just remember, with the shorter hookahs and smaller hookahs, you can't take as long of a draw because it'll either be too thick or a little bit too strong and you might cough a bit. But on these regular size hookahs that are about 30 inches plus, you can get a good draw off of it, and it's not overly strong or overpowering or going to make you cough or anything like that. So go get yourself some of this. It's available at hookahjunkie.com right now. I think it's like $19.99 for a 200 gram pack. And they come in these pouches that look almost like ground coffee packages. Get off my hand. And I think there's like 10 flavors, I believe. I think. And so if double apple's not your flavor, there's definitely some choices. And go get yourself some, because this is a very good flavor, especially if you're the kind that likes dark leaf. I am going to go inside and finish this because it's a little bit cooler inside now that the sun is out. That on my face. even though it's cool now, once the sun's out, it heats up pretty quickly. So I'm going to go inside and finish this. Go over to hookahjunkie.com and pick yourself up a 200-gram pack. There's at least 10 flavors, and just have yourself a nice dark session. The forgot, the bowl pack was a semi-dense. I don't pack it down too tight because it's not like it's chopped like Tangiers, but you don't pack it like that, so I don't see a point to a really dense pack unless that's what you want to try and it's good for you. So other than that, if there's any comments, concerns, or things that I didn't cover, please put them in the comment section below, like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next time. Have yourselves a good day. Again, this is for Baja Tobacco's Dos Apples flavor, and have you guys a good day today. I'll see you later, and happy smoking.